6 months ago, I talked about Mau Makan Apa, an animated show on YouTube that I thought was criminally underrated. A gem that fell under the rug, for sure. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk about a new animation project on YouTube that has gained a good amount of traction since its original upload. Allow me to introduce to you Ersatz. When I first saw clips of Ersatz on TikTok through various edits, the one thing that immediately caught my attention was the aesthetic of the show. The overall look. I loved Battlefield 1, played a ton back in the day when it first came out, so seeing Ersatz seemingly take place in a World War I style war zone, I simply had to invest on the spot. If I could describe the aesthetic of the show, I would say that it's a mix of several things. It's got pieces of Victorian-era art styles, your trench warfare, a little bit of cosmic horror, different themes all meshed into one project. And it works extremely well. There's a strangeness, almost unsettling design to the characters and really the world of Ersatz in general. You have beings that are half human, some that look like demons, and others straight up have heads of animals. Grotesque is a great way to describe many of the characters within the world of Ersatz. But within the strangeness, there's beauty. Resplendent beauty. Moments within the mute, dim world were splashes of color penetrating the shroud of war. Cinematography that impresses those who are looking for something, for shots that do more than just show a scene. I have my gripes with the show itself, but I'll get to those later in the video. Right now, I want to briefly talk about the plot of this pilot. Our main character wakes up confused and disgruntled as he has no idea who he is or where he is. As the story moves along, he comes to understand that he is enlisted into the military in exchange for eternal life. Well, sorta eternal life. At first, he's trying to get out and go back home, but his goals change once he starts to question who he is, or rather, who he was before he died and was reanimated. I think the whole concept of this machine giving a person life again just so they can go back to die in battle and do it all over again is intriguing in a haunting kind of way. But what makes this concept unique from other similar ideas like Mickey 17 is the fact that when you're revived, you're not guaranteed to look the same. I mean, why are there demons and anthropomorphic animals walking amongst humans? It's because they're not actually demons or animals. They're humans just like Mophead. The only difference is when they died, they received a wound that disfigured their body beyond recognition. That's why they introduced these sort of prosthetics like strange masks or faces of animals. Why wouldn't they try to replicate human-like faces and body parts from the get-go? And while they replace pieces of a person, is that the same person or a different person altogether? Ship of Theseus moment. I guess we'll find out as the story progresses. Another interesting thing to note is the title of the show itself goes along with this idea of immortality through replacing and repairing broken flesh. Ersatz, as a word, describes the use of artificial and inferior substitute or imitation. The word itself was borrowed from the German language during World War I. Interesting. Thanks, Merriam-Webster. The whole process of taking the dead back to dump them into this machine is so systematic, so cold. A lack of care can be felt when we see the gore of fallen men being separated and serrated to be packaged away in their proper bins for reanimating. The idea of coming back from the dead could have been done in a boring fashion, but I really do think the mystery behind the machine and the process that goes into bringing a person back to life in their world adds so much depth to an otherwise 2D concept. That's what's keeping me anchored to the show. Now, in terms of complaints I have with Ersatz, I got two main issues. The voice acting and the pacing. When it comes to YouTube startup animated shows, the voice actors are gonna be a hit or miss, with some understanding that the budget for most people isn't flexible enough to hire talented voice actors for these extensive projects. You could easily forgive the mid to terrible voice acting just as long as the animation or story carries. Not me. The voice of a character is everything. You can have the most interesting, most memorable, most lore-drenched character in the world. I still wouldn't give two fucks if the voice acting was done poorly. As harsh as that sounds, Ersatz voice acting issues aren't bad, as if they hired some fuck-ass Indian with a broken Xbox mic. But it's issues that I keep catching that I think hurts the overall quality. For example, Mophead's voice actor sounds like he was reading something out loud, which, you know, he is, obviously, but it's done so poorly. At some points his dialogue sounds monotone, and the other times the tone doesn't match the emotion needed to be conveyed in the moment. There are other examples of other characters that their voice actors weren't giving their best performance, but in general, they did their best. It's not horrible, but it's not the quality that I want to see. The pacing for the beginning of Ersatz was erratic, rushed. You could even say that there was a sense that the plot itself didn't know where it wanted to go. This jumbled state starts when Mophead wakes up and ends when he dies. Afterwards, the story stabilizes. Maybe it feels that way by design, since they wanted to convey this sense of confusion and loss Mophead was going through when he was first waking up. But if that's the case, then I think it's done poorly. But again, that was just for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Those are the main gripes that I have with the pilot, with a couple of nitpicks here and there along the way, but this video is focused on the beauty of Ersatz. And beautiful it is. With the captivating aesthetic, grotesque character design, intriguing plot, and a mystery that gives Ersatz a reason to exist, we absolutely have ourselves here a solid project. One with flaws sprinkled throughout, but it's easily overshadowed by everything else that makes Ersatz incredible. It's worth your time to invest, and it's something that I'll keep my eye out for more episodes to appear on YouTube. Is it something that a big name publisher would want to pick up and distribute? Probably not. But hey, if Have-Spin a Hotel can get Amazon Prime money, then anything is possible. Even if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't degrade the quality or worth of Ersatz. My only hope is the show and its creator continue to be funded by the people to produce a full season's worth of episodes so we can dive deeper in the world of Ersatz. Thanks for watching today's review. Leave a comment on your thoughts on Ersatz if you've seen it already. With all that being said, I will see y'all in the next review. Goodbye for now.